have now that I have like the actual YouTube page up, getting the link is super easy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Are we going to be able to see the chat box, or we know yet?
I have no idea.
Did you ask about it? Or did you just, like, wiki it or something?
No, I actually discovered it by accident. Like, the way I started this broadcast is different from the way I've started every single other one, because I started this one from YouTube instead of Google+.
Okay.
So starting it from YouTube gets you the chat box at the side. Starting it from Google+ does not, for some reason.
Huh. That's weird.
Okay, let's start. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Swing it.
I'm not going to do the thing we normally do this time because I want to use a different intro for this one, and I don't have that one loaded.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Alrighty then.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to NTR Radio. I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Odds.
And I'm American! Get out of the way. Get out of the way.
She's a little shit. She just jumps on her brother's head, jumps on the camera.
Oh.
Yeah, like seriously, what is she doing to that guy's head?
And it's me, VZ Mark II, unashamed of Taku.
Yes. So it's I would like to say it's been a little while, but it's only been 2 weeks this time.
Yeah.
It's always been the same length of time it is between every
that it's supposed to be.
Radio.
But before the Lovecraftian gods and stuff start fucking with the cosmos.
Before the powers of B decided we can't let this go on. NTR Radio.
And another flood happens.
Yeah.
Don't joke about that.
Flood.
Did you just see that thing that smashed into Texas and Mexico?
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, something like that.
Largest hurricane ever.
You know, imagine the person that does not have television, just lives in that area, or like is anybody around them or anything. It's just like they walk out one day and like trees are flying by and shit.
I would imagine someone came by, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey,
like a Jehovah's Witness.
Experience the biggest hurricane ever. You need to leave."
Jehovah's Witness style. They're just like, dude. Hey, I'd like to talk to you about this big fucking
Do you have
hurricane.
a minute to talk about the largest hurricane ever?
Seriously,
The answer is no, you don't. You need to pack your stuff and leave right now. Find higher ground.
This
I have the higher ground, Anakin.
This dilapidated shack you call a house isn't going to be here when you come back.
It's going to be whatever's the ground is gonna be there when it comes back. You're gonna have any walls. It's not gonna be no framing. You're not gonna have a roof or any of that stuff. The door's not gonna be there. It's gonna be gone. Your entire house is gonna be gone. You need to leave.
Yes, it's been a couple interesting weeks though.
Yes.
Interim.
Indeed.
Can I say what happened to me first?
Yeah, go ahead. You seem sort of eager.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts off like this. You know, normally there's a figment that I want, I pre-order it, and I wait a couple of months, and when it comes out, it's supposed to be the 14 to 20 days that it arrives, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, long story short, my Azuki from Idolmaster Cinderella Girls hasn't shown up at all. It shipped out September 21st. It never arrived. It hasn't arrived at all. So
maybe they found out you were a shitlord.
Who we shipping to? BZ Mark II? Yeah, no, we can't let this get.
So basically, I ordered another one, and if that first one comes, or if it comes at all, then we'll just ship it back or something. If it doesn't, we'll still cancel the charge. I'll still cancel the charge for it or whatever.
Right.
But I added something extra special. I can't say because it's something that...
Because its legality is questionable in my area.
No.
It would be self-incrimination if you did.
Okay. You guys can take a guess. Remember the last episode we were talking about waifus?
Yeah.
And it's one of mine. It's something that's one of mine. So You take a guess on
You
that.
know?
What?
You know?
No,
You?
I already have a No,
Why didn't I predict that? Why didn't I predict that VZ would have a somewhere? I'm an idiot.
I have the Figma and Android of and I have figures of Yui. So it's something I haven't had before.
Okay.
All right.
Makes it a lot easier.
Okay.
What would make it easier if I remembered any of your waifus, but I don't. Besides those two.
Okay. And it's not Mayoi because I already have Mayoi stuff.
Of course, you already have Mayoi stuff. That would be a stupid thing to suggest for me because it's Mayoi and I'm talking to VZ Mark II.
I'm kicking myself for not getting that Nendoroid of Mayoi, but I wasn't collecting Nendoroids then. So I have the Figma of her. So.
Let me think here.
Oh. Don't worry. You'll.
A Mayoi Onohole as Drawing Girl?
They make those, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm certain.
I'm gonna look at J lists later for that. Like if they have Monogatari Oni holes, ghost Oni holes. So it would be translucent.
Yeah, it's got to be translucent.
Oh, by the way, did you see that on Twitter?
No.
No. I was asking Anubis. Did you see that comment on Twitter? Or
What comment?
The Onahol comment.
No.
Oh, is that in the box?
I have no idea what you're even talking about.
The chat box.
That was in the chat box.
Okay.
Which we have now somehow.
And
I know exactly why we have it. I don't know.
I'm not
I don't know
seeing
how we
it,
see it from here. But
yeah, I don't see it at all. I don't know.
So I haven't completely figured this thing out.
Yeah.
Obviously
you saw it if you could read it.
We've been doing this live for 2 years. I still haven't completely figured this entire thing out.
Good times.
Oh, so the chat box. Where would I find the chat box?
You would have to go to the YouTube thing, and you'd have to go to the actual broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'll have to mute it.
Then you'd have to mute it, which I should actually probably pause it, so I don't have to see my face.
It's like I'm looking at a mirror that is a little bit back in time.
I'm looking at a delayed mirror, but again from Drawing Girl 94, that girl from Nisekoi, Sugumi, whatever.
No,
whatever
I
the hell her
haven't.
name is, the bitch.
I have an Android of her.
Of course you do.
No, I was gonna say, what's her name? The bitchopolis from, what's that show called now?
Bitchopolis. What?
I don't know. It's just a city of bitches. It's bitchopoly. Do not collect $200. Do not go to income tax. Anyway.
Yeah, but just to clarify, I can see the chat.
Okay.
So I can relay. From the chat
I see it now.
I guess I could go there, but I'm on Twitter, so I'm kind of looking here for comments. So if you want to throw any out there.
Actually, I see it now, so I'm good. So
okay.
So
fair enough.
So I give up because everything I'm guessing you already have.
Okay, but it's one that I don't have before.
Understand
that only brings us down to a couple hundred.
Then it's a surprise. Then it's a surprise because when it shows, I will.
Yeah, it'll be a surprise.
It'll present.
It'll be a surprise. I'll probably feel like an idiot because
you'll.
Oh, thank you, VZ, for saying that I'll feel like an idiot later. It makes me feel really good
it'll
about
present
myself.
like lupus.
No, you'll get. It's just when you see it, you'll be. Of course, VZ got that. Of course he did. How can I not predict VZ would want, her?
Okay, we should probably talk about what we've been up to.
Yes. Okay.
Instead of making jokes about, cities of bitches and board games and. Okay, I've been watching some stuff. Basically the same stuff I have been watching. Iron-Blooded Orphans.
Yeah, I stopped at episode 2. Is it really?
I'm enjoying it, but
See,
some of the people in my model building club are saying, "Hey, episode 3 has been real ballin'. I haven't seen
Yeah,
episode
that
3
was
yet.
really cool. There's some really just neat and kind of spazzy shots that are really cool looking.
Did they put armor on the midsection yet?
Well, I saw a screen cap from episode 4, and no, it's about
Of
as
course not.
open as whatever.
So, but also
It's the Memphis
continuing,
Gundam.
about to finish the first saga, if that's the best word, of Dragon Ball. It's called the Emperor Pilaf Saga. It's like the first 13 episodes. I know I'm slacking, but more FMA, Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh, you still watching Yuri Yuri?
I already finished Yuri. Yeah.
Both seasons or the first one?
Just the first one for now.
Okay.
I'm also watching, still watching Akame ga Kill, like everybody else. You know. And a couple other things. Been reading this book. It's kind of related to WordPress of the new version, because I used to have an old one that was from like 2012, I think. So
Yeah,
obviously it's not of any use anymore.
The Odd Theory or something. That was it?
No. I mean the book.
Oh, the book.
This book that's talking about how to manipulate certain aspects of it.
Right.
That I'm going to use later on for nefarious purposes.
Of course.
You know, cue supervillain music here.
I don't have any super villain.
Yeah, I don't think we do. So that's so did that. Played a little bit of video games. Watched a couple of documentaries. I appeared on Otaku Midnight.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about
the-
School Live.
The Gaku cast.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun. It was surprisingly a lot more stable than you would think, with like 8 people running around.
Yeah, I was like, how are they gonna manage 8 people in a pocket? We can barely manage like 4.
Yeah, there was a surprising amount of what being cordial, I guess, would be the right, and letting people talk.
Mm.
More so than I was expecting. I'll just say that. Just not to comment on anybody's skill or anybody's behavior or anything. It's actually just, I don't think when you get that many people, it's easy to control it.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's all been really good and fun. Been kind of talking about going to Expo next year, which is going to be interesting. I hope Boshi comes back. I was so pissed that he came this year and I wasn't able to go. So, how about anybody else?
I'm still finishing up Spielbahn. Told you about that show 2 shows ago.
Spielberg the animation.
Which I said is one of the shows used in VR Troopers. And after that, I'm gonna watch because now it's all subbed, so I'm gonna finally watch all of O Ranger. One of the Sentai shows used in Power Rangers. But besides that, what else? The stuff from this season. The only like here is, it's like the full length shows. Nearly all of them are like sequels. So we got like Gochi Usa season 2, and Yuri Yuri season 3, and Orari Monogatari, which hasn't been at like I don't know if it's just the story itself or just like whatnot, but it doesn't have the ecchi levels that the other Monogatari has.
So no questionable toothbrush scene. Or...
So I'm actually, not because of that, but not only because of that, but I'm just finding it a little less engaging. This one, I'm still good, watching it because it's Monogatari.
Is it less like talking heads?
No, it's actually
Wars?
just talking heads. It's just talking and talking and talking about stuff. That's all that. Which I don't mind it, but this one's just really like I don't know what's going on.
Is it just like reading a grocery list or?
And but the one full-length series that I'm watching is Valkyrie Drive, and I watched the 3rd episode yesterday. I am loving that show.
Interesting.
I am absolutely love it. This is here's the thing. Here's the thing about me. I'm actually not that into the, like, I don't know what they call it, but like the fan service fighting shows. Not because of what they
Iki
are.
Toxin?
Exactly, that's one. Not
Mr.
because of what they
Banned
are.
in Russia?
Not because of what they are. It's just they always fail to live up, or most of them are just okay, but you're going like, oh, okay, that was okay for the one-time watch, but like the last one that I really got into of that genre or whatever was Seren Kagura.
Yeah, but
And I was
everybody
too
loves
easy.
Seren Kagura except for, like, Nintendo UK.
So this one, I just love that they're just going all out with the ecchi. If you watch it uncensored, which you should.
Yeah, it's just like, I will finger this person until they turn into my weapon.
Exactly, and it's really well drawn too. I'm not noticing like any really like that. That's a lot of things with a lot of fan service shows is they tend to like skimp on budget. No, this one looks really good. This one,
Like Zoink Scoob, those are some big old titties.
big titties, flat titties. Because we saw briefly we saw Mayfon briefly in the second. What is it? The main girl Mirai lifts up Mayfon like this, and when she does that, you see her shirt lift up for a second.
Speaking of which, one thing I forgot to mention is during the interim, the Back to the Future date passed.
Oh yeah.
Yep, a lot of jokes came through because of that.
A whole lot of jokes.
Many of which were actually funny.
Somehow.
No hydrated pizza.
I still want the jacket. Like
the one that tries.
Yeah, like if you're caught in the rain or something. I mean, it kind of looks a little fruity, but I mean, especially that one because it looks like he's on the ocean or a sailor or something. But
no Japanese buses.
Yeah, that was funny. Of him, yeah, but they kind of got the phone TV thing right. I mean, Skype.
Yeah. That and also wide TVs, flat screen TVs.
I mean, so it wasn't completely wrong. And needless to say, the Jaws 19 and the Cubs actually went to the Cubs. How did that happen? Like I'm not Mr. Baseball by any means, but
and also
seriously, how did that happen?
Also, the '80s cafe, there's '80s nostalgia.
Yes.
Although actually now we're starting to see '90s nostalgia because in 2017 we're going to see a Power Rangers movie, and they had a Goosebumps movie and Jurassic World. So now we're into the '90s nostalgia. But I'm saying goodbye to Cruel World if they decide to do a live action Animaniacs movie.
Ew.
If they decide, I'm just saying because they're gonna want because '80s nostalgia is practically dead. That Gem movie was dead on arrival.
I don't know. Kung Fury was pretty funny.
Well, no, that's not. I know what you're saying, but I mean. When I say
that
that,
also wasn't made here either. That's like Swedish or something.
Yeah, when I say that, I'm talking about like this thing came out at then, and then we're making a movie 20, 30 years. That's what I'm talking about.
Basically, like an homage to that time.
Oh well, that I know. I know. You remember you telling me about that. But yeah. So now they're gonna tap into '90s nostalgia.
So we'll be seeing like all these Nickelodeon shows and.
We'll probably get Rugrats live.
Action Hey Arnold. Do that.
I have a horrible joke about that.
Live action Cat Dog.
No, I got one worse.
What the fuck?
I got one worse, and this one's gonna make you cringe so hard, K-Gods. A Doug live action movie.
Ooh. I got one question. Isn't Skeeter going to be problematic?
Oh, yeah.
He's blue.
or live action Beavis and Butthead.
You know, I think
They're
that could
problematic
actually
too.
sort of work.
Yeah, probably.
To a certain extent, I feel like that could actually kind of work.
Yeah, but you could actually just go down the street and probably find people like that, though.
Exactly. That's why it would work. Everyone knows someone who's like that.
Yeah.
But you mentioned Hey Arnold earlier, and I was just thinking, yeah, but you know how they are with these things. They'd age them up and try to have like Samuel L. Jackson be Gerald or something. Something that wouldn't make any fucking sense.
I was actually I don't remember how I ended up here, but for some reason I was actually on the Hey Arnold wiki like a week ago. The idea of a Hey Arnold wiki hadn't occurred to me until that very moment. But then I'm just going through all the. Remember Dino Spumoni?
Wasn't he the dumb kid?
No, he's like supposed to be like the Frank Sinatra sort of washed up old crooner.
Oh,
sort of
okay, yeah.
character.
I
Like he
can't
fakes
remember
his
all the
own
names.
death in one episode and lives in the boarding house.
Okay, yeah, I'm clearly out of my league a little bit here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one show I wanted to mention before. Okay, because there's all the shorts that I'm watching, Komari-san and Hakadal, which I'm
I
liking.
actually watched a few episodes of Hakadal. I'm enjoying it.
It's funny, isn't it? They're like really
What?
stupid,
They're-
and
They're dumb and don't know what the hell they're doing.
it's kind of like Melky Holmes when Melky Holmes was good, the first 2 seasons. Yeah, they're really stupid and they fuck up. The episode 4 is hilarious. The recent one is hilarious, because it involves like a guy playing, which I think is supposed to be the director actually of the show, but he's playing like a dating game or whatever, and then one of the girls comes out, and it's basically like this harem situation, but no, I don't want to spoil it. It's too funny.
Yeah.
Okay, but one of the other ones I'm watching is Antori X, the exercise show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which when you phrase it like that,
I don't know what you're talking about, but when you say the exercise show, I know exactly what you're
yeah. Well,
when you phrase it like that, it sounds like the most
basically, if
boring
you
fucking
like-
thing ever.
If you like what's that show? Training with Hinako.
I was
Okay.
I was guessing something like
Yeah,
that.
it's pretty much that. And so I like the second episode a lot because it had a twin-tailed, flat-chested tsundere.
Naturally.
Was she on like on one of those stationary bikes?
No, but she was doing
Maybe
push-ups,
that's
and they did like the view of
Let
like.
me guess. There's a large-chested character that's doing various jumping jacks and things like that.
No, it's only one. I mean, there is. I'm sure they'll get to that. It's only
course.
one girl per episode for now.
Okay.
But she wishes she was better because it was about doing exercises that help your chest muscles.
Yes. Pretty sure it isn't going to quite work that way, but okay.
Well, what we're going to talk about later. It's you might just have to warm
Thermal
them up.
Thermal expansion. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Real quick in the chat, Drawing Girl mentions a live-action Daria.
Ah!
So why don't you just go to school?
Yikes! Yikes! Live action.
High school. And live-action
Seriously.
Ren and Stimpy, which would be absolutely disgusting.
Yes, like the X-ray shots going up people's nose and stuff like that. Ugh. Dropping roads all over your eminent domain. Ugh. That's a horrible joke.
Bigger's not always better, VZ. Yeah.
Okay. Anyhow, talking about Hey Arnold wikis and
Yeah.
anything but anime here.
So Anubis, what are you watching before?
The only thing I caught, well, actually, no, that's not true. I watched some of Hackadol, so I'm enjoying that. But other than that, I actually got around to watching Ava 3.0 in
Right.
preparation for the topic of this podcast, foreshadowing.
Yes, and that topic is jerking off to comatose. No.
Yeah. But yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing. That and playing some video, play some virtual on online with actual other people who aren't Japanese and destroy me in 3 seconds.
Yeah.
So people who I can actually play with and who will pose a challenge without stomping me into the ground. So that was enjoyable. I did that for like 3 hours.
When was the last virtual on made?
The last virtual on made was in 2003.
Oh.
It's been 12 years since a virtual on game came out, and the last one that came out wasn't even that good. So
Badger
if you want to be real, it's been 14 years since a virtual on game came out, since a good one came out.
I'll go ahead and throw out a pimp out something. I actually watched a lewd gamer stream.
Ooh.
While they were playing a bunch of games. One of which was, I can't think of what it was. I don't remember even the title. I just remember seeing the actual action of it. Was this boxing game. It was very entertaining. Like, she would use her cleavage and kiss you and stuff, and then just knock the living shit out of you.
See, that's one of those ones that are terrible because you need 2 hands to play it.
Not only that, but after you lose, she just stomps on your dick a bunch.
Yeah, it's like, why would you make a game like that needs 2 hands to play? It's like, it defeats the entire purpose.
Come on, you can't play Lightning Warrior 80 with 2 hands, damn it. I don't actually know that.
You can actually 100% play that game with 1 hand.
How about, stuff like that and, Rants?
It's the fighting, Rants is another one that, like, those games are basically all clicking around.
Yes.
But it's stuff like the fighting games where I just am completely confused.
It was kind of fun, just, again, because her combos and stuff were really hilarious. Like, she would, like, swing her breasts around, and, like, it would, like, dizzy you, and then she would just, like, combo you with, like, 5 hits and knock you on your ass. It was really entertaining. She would just be, like, making these cute noises when she does it. And just, like, wind up and just fucking, like, send you down, like, Mike Tyson style. Speaking of which, I don't know if any of you have played Punch-Out or any versions of Punch-Out.
Never played it.
Neither have I.
You know what I'm talking about, I'm assuming, though.
Yeah,
I know what Punch-Out is.
Yeah. I'm surprised that game didn't get more shit than it did.
Back then they didn't care about that type of stuff.
No, I mean even now, because they've made new versions of it, you know.
Oh.
Because they have the stereotypes and stuff.
Mm.
You know, it was really bad in the first one because you would have the Russian guy, Soda Popinski, which that's how they called him here anyway, and he was like drunkenly walking around and shit. You had the guy from India with the turban. Great Tiger, I think that's what they called him.
I think so.
You had Bald Bull from Turkey and some of this other stuff. I mean, I'm surprised people didn't get more like anal about that. Anyhow, since we're talking about anything but anime, video games.
Video games. Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Hey Arnold, get over here.
I've been playing games on my smartphone, so.
What kind? Like Tetris or?
I actually did play a little Tetris, but I'm trying to find a good version.
I could never get into Tetris.
The thing with Tetris, though,
some of the games based on it, like
columns.
See, the thing is, there's just so
play
many.
columns.
There's so many games that I'm just trying to find the ones that work for me. I've still been playing the Sonic ones that I actually like, the Sonic Dash ones.
Naturally, there's no way Sega could fuck that up.
Yeah. They also have like a Sonic Boom, Sonic Dash one.
Of course they do.
I've also been playing like this bubble bopping game, like it's not bubble bopper, but it's like try to pop the bubbles. I like those type of games.
Yeah.
See, I like those in real life when you get the bubble wrap and the.
It's not a game. That's a toy.
It's not even a toy. It's a
no, but they do have a virtual like one of those on
Of
there,
course they do.
like
Yeah,
popping
Of
up
course they do. There are
from.
ton of useless apps on smartphones for no reason.
Yeah, well, it is hard to resist when it's
Oh,
sitting there right in front of you.
okay. I just remembered. Before we end, one game I've been playing. End the segment. One game I downloaded that I've been playing is called. You're gonna love this. 10 Billion Wives.
How am I gonna love that?
What is the game about?
It's basically you're supposed to marry everyone on the planet. Well, in this case, all the girls on the planet, and they're all like apron wife, CEO wife, tsundere wife, maid wife, zombie wife, and
Zombies exist.
you gotta like level up, uh, and keep leveling up until that way you can see like a special illustration.
I can totally see this game pissing some people off.
Of course.
It's just like, real women aren't like that. Yes, real women are not like zombies. I know.
Yeah.
You know, they're not trying to eat your brains.
You know, there's one for you, Anubis, soldier wife.
Okay.
When I saw that, I was like,
right
oh,
now.
there's one for Anubis, yeah.
In any case, we're up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. And we'll do this.
I will be.
What do we have here? Give us your South Park Yowie. Yes.
There is actually plenty of that.
Oh, I'm sure of it, and I'm willing to bet the drawings are much better than the actual show art.
Oh, infinitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say because let's be honest here, it's very, very simplistic. Then again, you all probably have pictures of Cartman trying to put his dick in Butters. Remember that? And he's like, check it out, isn't this so gay? And they're just kind of looking at him like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? See, it's funny. Okay, so curious, what did you think of that anyway?
What, Ava 3?
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
because I've heard some really mixed stuff about it.
I was dubious at first, but I do kind of like the direction it's going in.
Aha. I just like the idea
Let's
of it.
put it this way. The fourth movie is going to be very interesting.
I just like
what happened in the third is going to be interesting.
I just like the idea of at the very end, instead of like at the end, kind of a fin thing popping up. It's just like, thanks for helping me fund my medication.
Though I will say, they do the preview thing where they play the song.
Yeah.
And considering what happens, the promise of fan service in the next movie seems very highly inappropriate to me.
Weird.
Well, like let's be real. There were plenty of times when, in the main series, the promise of fan service in the next episode seemed really inappropriate.
Sure enough. Then again, so does the music.
Exactly. Like, even this song is like, considering everything that just happened up to that point in End of Evangelion, this is kind of a really weird song to go to. That said, I feel like its placement is really, really good. It's to a certain extent it's inappropriate, but to a certain other extent it actually really fits because it's got
Unlike Magic. Like I every time I see it, it's like I prepare my head. It's like, okay, this time it's gonna make sense. No, it doesn't.
It just doesn't. But it's like it calms you down from everything that just went on in the first half of AoE.
I forgot to mention that for now on I'm doing the type of shipping that has the tracking.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna let that happen to me again. Yeah. Yeah. I've been hearing like UPS has been having trouble anyway. Like people's packages have been missing and shit. People have been stealing packages.
That's been happening all the time. I haven't had it happen to me, so I'm lucky in that regard. But for years I've been hearing about people. Yeah. The thing says delivery attempted, but they were home and nobody ever attempted to deliver it to them, or like they'll see their package and it was like thrown in the bushes or something. It's crazy.
What the hell? You're not playing Paperboy here.
People just don't give a damn.
See, that's why we need those drone deliveries.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know whether to blame the people for not giving a damn, or the company for not incentivizing people to give a damn, or like not firing people who don't give a damn.
Like, I still like the idea of drones delivering it in like awkward places, like you're a window washer or something, and all of a sudden this thing comes up behind you. It's like, I think this is yours.
Or
you order
a sandwich. A drone just comes up to the scaffold and say, "Hey, cool, my sandwich is here."
Or even just something you ordered a long time ago. It just like pops up and you forgot about it. You're like sitting there, like just doing your job, like do. This thing pops up. And it's like, your order of "fuck you ass horse" has arrived.
I always wonder about you ever see the movie Castaway?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the order that he decides to save and then like he finally delivers the package. I was like, oh gee, now it's here.
Yes.
Oh, of course, the joke also being, what could it like possibly be? You know, because they never say.
A human head. No.
All right, we ready?
Yep.
Yes.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio.
And
so
this one's been
2015.
Sorry.
And 20 years ago, the entire anime landscape was basically overturned. Got turned upside down.
Wah, wah, wah.
By a show called Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Yes.
This is a story all about how the anime industry got turned upside down.
Really, Anubis? I mean, true or not, it's weird because when it first came out is around when I got into anime. I mean, that is just a coincidence, really, more than anything else. But that is the time period.
I knew about Ava like pretty much at the time that it ended, but I didn't see it until years later.
It'd be in all like these little like gaming and like nerd magazines, like
yes,
in these like little side like areas off, it'd be like, hey, there's this thing,
It was in a magazine called Game Fan, and they devoted like 4 pages to Ava.
You always gotta be. Okay, here's how I heard about Ava. You remember the Newgrounds dating game for Evangelion?
No.
Yes.
BZ, that was my introduction to Evangelion. That's the first thing I ever saw of Evangelion was.
Yeah,
interesting.
But not only that, but kind of off topic. It's the first my first exposure to Love Hina was the dating game for that, and my first exposure to Galaxy Angel was that game as well.
Huh. I mean,
that was my first exposure to like actual Evangelion.
I mean, in the magazines, like I was saying, there wasn't really like any big features so much as it was just kind of off on the side, like it's some kind of thing you find in the workout section or something of a VHS, you know.
Although, like, looking back, it was kind of the thing that I feel like I should have watched right as it came out because, you know, at the time I was like, you know, I would love a show that's like Power Rangers, but have the teenagers be with problems. You know?
Like you're making it sound like Peter Parker, you know, from Spider-Man. Like, I mean, he's got problems. I mean,
well, yeah, but I wanted.
I mean, he doesn't have Shinji Ikari problems.
I wanted like, you know, they hate each other and type of.
Unbeknownst to Captain Planet writers.
He wanted it to be more real.
Yeah, although that's seemingly like what they're gonna do with the new Power Rangers movie, and that's why I'm excited for it. Like reading the descriptions for characters, I'm really liking if they're going with this direction. Of course, they're changing some of the. They're using the original characters' names, but they're changing what their race was. That because they don't want to have the Black Ranger be black and the Yellow Ranger be Asian.
It's just mix up all the colors.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay.
Black.
Who's the Green Ranger gonna be?
Well, I don't even know if Green Ranger's gonna be in.
Fucking Martian. Let's get back to Evangelion.
Yeah.
So,
the first time I actually watched any of it was back when Toonami was doing this giant robot week.
Yes, John. Yep. That's when I first saw it too. It was there, and it had the not edited, but censored Misato.
Yep.
Bathing with the even though you don't see anything in them originally.
Well, I saw it on VHS when ADV was still kind of booming, you know.
See, that's when I wish I saw it.
And yes, much like everybody else, when I got to the last couple episodes, I had that "what the fuck did I just see" moment. What the hell just happened there? And I didn't understand, you know, that they ran out of funds and all that. But so to me, it was even weirder. It was just like, was I supposed to get something out of that?
See, I saw the full series right around when I was in college, so that was like 2004. Well, actually, the school library opened up, so around 2004, I was renting all of Ava, and perfectly, like right on time because right when I finished that, one of the classes I had was showing End to Ava.
Completely out of context.
Well, he did explain what the plot of Ava is before.
Yeah, but someone explaining the plot of Ava isn't gonna help you watching End of Evangelion. Like watching Ava from start to finish barely helps you with End of Evangelion.
Oh, I know that, but I'm just saying it's artsy.
This is Anno's attempt to rectify him getting death threats for the ending of the original series. By crazy motherfuckers who have no lives.
Wait, the first time I watched Evangelion was it was at like the tail end of high school, and I'd watched it on demand through that entire service.
Right.
So it was like episode by episode. I'd get up early in the morning, watch an episode of Evangelion, and that was the way I watched it.
And then your day was ruined.
And then
starting around about the halfway mark, every episode became more and more, I gotta start taking pills when I'm watching this thing.
Like the one that really, really bothered me, I remember, was I think before I say this, we should establish that there will be spoilers for Evangelion throughout the entirety of this episode.
If you haven't figured that out already, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but it's the episode where they finally put Toji in an Ava.
Oh,
and that's when it gets taken over by the angel.
And then the end of the episode, he's screaming.
And it just tears the thing apart. And that's the first episode that actually
crushes it.
yeah, like that very part actually made me kind of cringe a bit because it's like, wow,
Well,
the
the
show
best
got
part,
really real.
the best part about that though is the ending of it. How like he screams and it just echoes out.
Yep.
That being said, I still think it has one of the greatest hooks ever, and that's in I think it's episode 2, where he just wakes up,
Hmm.
and then like you don't know where or why he is where he is, and then it just almost immediately kind of he lives back through it, getting back up to that point. But the thing is, the way it happens is it pulls you in because you're like, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Actually, I think before Giant Robot Week, or maybe right exactly after, they had a thing on the Sci-Fi Channel about just this thing of anime, and they showed like, and it was like from kid stuff to kick butt, and it was showing the scene from Ava fighting Satchel.
Mm. There's a lot of really warped, kind of disturbing elements in it, really. One of which, of course, is the entire tank full of the clone rays,
Yeah.
where they're just like disintegrating, like when she kills them off.
Like it's the entire aesthetic of the Evas just by itself. And like that one scene in End of Evangelion where they're driving over like the catwalk through this Evangelion graveyard.
Yeah.
Like, all these Unit Zero heads with bloody spines coming
And
down.
shit.
It's like,
Yeah. Or how about when they swoop down like on Asuka like a bunch of vultures?
yeah,
And they're like
mass
feasting
production
on
Evas.
her.
Like yeah, like the imagery of the combat and all the blood and gore involved with the combat when you used to Mecha not having any of that.
Another good scene that's kind of cringe-inducing is when, the side of Ava, the face gets damaged, and
Yeah.
and Shinji just kind of looks over and the eyeball pops out
Yeah.
and stares at him,
Or
and then
when,
he just like screams like ah! What the hell are these things?
or when I think after the battle with Zeroel, they bandage up Unit 1, and it's just got this you're looking at this massive thing, and it's just got this bandaged face with this one eye wide open and this grin.
Yeah. Those things do look kind of evil, actually.
They look sinister.
Yeah, you do have to, like, the design was kind of based a little bit on, like a very stylized version of Ultraman that he did.
Well, I knew he was a big fan of that and Devilman.
Well, that also because he worked on the movie Nausicaa,
Yep.
and he designed the thing called the God Warrior,
Mm.
and animated that scene, and that you definitely see like how that evolved into Ava.
Speaking of disturbing things, I thought the whole idea of the dummy plug thing was pretty fucked up. You know how when they initiate, it's like, oh, he's not doing what we want him to do.
Exactly. So
we'll just shut him down and cut him off, like his sensors off, basically, and put in this, program we've come up with.
Yeah. You know what else?
We want it to do.
You know what else? I was thinking, like what I was saying about the magazine Game Fan, and they had like a 4-page spread about Ava.
Do you still have it?
No. Well, all that shit got lost in the flood.
That's a bummer, because that's actually a little piece of history.
I might have scanned it, but I'm not sure. I know I scanned.
Somebody else probably did.
I know I scanned the thing that the magazine Flux did about just anime.
Yeah,
that I did scan.
I used to have that.
That one I did scan. But anyway, there was like, a watercolor drawing of Asuka, looking all nice, peaceful, and serene. I'm like thinking like, oh, what a nice looking girl. If only I knew. I had no idea.
What you don't see is the noose hanging in the background. That's a fucked up joke for those who haven't. Yeah.
No, but I do remember reading about, saying like how episode 25 and 26 are the epilogue of what, and the Ava hasn't come out yet at that time. Right. So this was 1996, by the way, and also the part. No, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
All right, the part in the part that when Misato was having sex with the guy, forgot his name,
Kaji.
Kaji, and even though it was all off screen, that caused problems in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then of course she has like a post-coital cigarette.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, I didn't think you still did this. I only do this thing,
There has not been a more perfect situation for this drop-in.
Sex is bad. Stop talking about it.
Yeah. Say you would be surprised, like, oh, Japan would be cool with that. Well, first off, Ava aired at a kids time slot. I remember reading.
Oh, I imagine that would be kind of that would just kind of be really messed up for some of the stuff.
At a time slot when kids anime was showing, I remember, because there wasn't the like otaku satellite only
ATX.
Yeah, there wasn't that established.
Well, I do know it. I do know it almost got kicked off a couple times.
Yes, like if you wanted to see like that type of I think Ava kind of popularized the type of content that you would see only in OVAs. I think that's why. In fact, there's an OVA that it's not worth really checking out, but it's called Ariel.
Okay.
A 4-episode thing that CPM put out. But the reason is there's a lot of shit in that that's very similar to Ava. It's hard to describe, but including the way the monsters look in it. I remember that too. Also, a lot of like Ultraman nostalgia.
Right.
That's another.
A lot of people don't realize that a lot of those old shows and anime and things like that actually do show up kind of in a more. I guess it's more subtle for a lot of people. Like you wouldn't suspect like Devilman was an influence really.
Right.
But he actually said no.
Which a slight tangent. Like I think some people were complaining about the fact that Anno's going to direct the new Godzilla. And I'm like thinking, these people don't know Anno. These people don't know that name.
I'm pumped about that.
The main characters will all have serious fucking psychological disorders.
It's like the man grew up with like tokusatsu, so who else?
Right.
I think it's him and the guy that did the Attack on Titan live action movies.
Oh,
I think
okay.
It'd be both of them, or something like that. So it's like, who better than Anno to direct Godzilla?
Yes.
After like 10 years, so.
Yeah, I mean, I got it. I also think, and again, this is not the first time this has been brought up, but if you look at each character in Evangelion, which more than anything, it really is a character study show.
Yeah.
I mean,
very character driven.
If you were to, the plot seems very much just like a backdrop for it to really, because every character has something wrong with them.
Yeah.
A very prominent psychological problem. Like in Asuka's case, it's very obviously narcissism.
Yeah.
But Shinji's depression, of course. I would say.
What I like about it is that there's a reason all these characters are like this, and like
you're
not left wondering why is this character this way. It tells you exactly why they're this way.
Oh yeah.
And Rei Ayanami was supposed to be creepy. She wasn't supposed to be like the face of Moe.
well, I would say more than anything else, if you were to assign kind of a psychiatric like disorder or something to her, it would be like some kind of like identity disorder.
Well, here's the thing.
That would make a whole lot of sense.
They said that I read that he designed her, Rei as like a sort of antithesis to like the Kogel style of that.
Right, and of course it became like a sex symbol, which is weird as hell if you think about it.
Because it's like she's selfless and she doesn't care how she looks, and
that's because she lacks a soul.
Yeah, it's the exact reason.
She is replaceable, which it's really messed up. When you, if anybody else thought that was bizarre, when again, I know this is very Freudian kind of stuff, but like when he's like talking to her and looking at her wringing out that rag, and like she's like thinking of his mom and stuff. Well, she's a clone, so
yeah.
But But you know, it's like, or when he falls on her with his hands on her breasts and stuff, and she's just like stoically just kind of stares at him, just like, get off of me. It's
Shut
like,
up. Shut up, old hag.
oh, yeah, that's fantastic. And she just like chokes it, like, is Ritsuko's mom gonna have to choke a bitch? No, that was actually really disturbing when they went to that flashback.
Oh,
because then she clearly committed suicide.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or was killed, but I'm thinking the former.
No, she probably just jumped off.
Because it looked like, yeah, it kind of hinted she jumped off of there and went splat.
Misato definitely popularized the notion of the Christmas cake.
Oh, big time.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big time. Absolutely. Because they even make little swipes in the show about her age.
Yeah.
Like you know, what's the rush to everybody to get married before they're 30 or whatever? You know, where she's there with Kaji and her friends and so on.
I like I don't know what episode, but the one where she has to go to like the meeting thing or no, it was like a party. When Misato had to go to it was like the nerve party or something.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like so bored. I think she had like the straw in her mouth.
Oh, you're talking about when she ended up having to go to the international conference for what was that thing? What was the name of it? The big thing they tried to make that was like it.
Oh, the Jet Alone.
Jet Alone. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
She's like, it's like this, like.
He's just like, why don't y'all stop acting like children? You know, and yeah, she gets pissed off and is kicking that locker in and shit. First off, that's another thing that all comes together with Evangelion. It has a really good soundtrack. It's well implemented.
Yes, I like the. And normally I'm not into orchestral type soundtracks. I'm more into.
It works though.
But yeah, it works really well for it.
And even when they're not doing the orchestral thing, they'll have like the elevator music kind of stuff.
Yep.
Sometimes literally. that has to be one of the most uncomfortable fucking moments in any show ever. When Asuka and Rei are both in that elevator, and it just goes on so long with nobody talking or moving, and it's like at first you think, what the fuck, did something mess up with my cassette? That was my thought, you know.
Well, that's also the thing with when Ava 01 is about
Kaoru?
Yeah, just like.
But that's great because it's playing the classical music in the background. It's playing.
It's like for a minute, which I love. Penny Pony Dash did a parody of that.
And then all of a sudden you just hear, and his head comes off.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Ava designs, because
I've always liked them.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed them.
I mean, I know it's cliche, but I still like Unit 1 the best.
Unit 2 for me.
I really liked 00 Kai the most. The blue one, Ray's blue one.
Right, I knew what you meant.
Oh yeah.
The one you probably saw the least of.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing that it was the one that wasn't in End of Ava because it got like destroyed because it, you know.
Yeah, it got destroyed.
Yeah, the other thing I like about them is how they explain that those giant shoulder pad looking deals are actually restraints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, you know, because everybody's just like, what do you mean? It's like, no. And it also has one of the great, at least in my opinions, one of the great twists. I mean, I guess that's the only really way to word it. Like when Kaji, she basically follows him down there.
Yeah.
And he goes, you know, they're hiding something from you. And this is what it is. And then it's just like, what in the hell is that thing?
Oh, Lilith?
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing that, shit. I remember, what was I going to say? I didn't like that in the rebuild that they made the, like you know how 00 is yellow and then blue?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like that they kept it. Yeah, I always liked that it made blue because, you know, Rei Ayanami's color.
Yeah, kind of matches.
Yeah.
And her personality and all that.
Yeah.
She's blue, man. She's depressed. You would be too if you didn't have a soul. One thing that we didn't discuss about this is the actual character designs.
Oh yeah,
Which I think is interesting, even more so than the show itself, is how big of a impact they had.
something Yoshiaki Sakamoto, I think.
Yes.
Sadamoto.
Sadamoto. That's right.
Which he also designed. He worked on the movie. The Wings of Oniyamis.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A lot of Gynax stuff. Shit, my mind is going blank.
You're the artist one amongst us.
Yeah, what? The other big Gynax.
Not Gunbuster.
Oh, not Nadia.
Yeah, Secret of Blue Water.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. There's that.
Well, the thing is its influence is still there.
And the video game Luna.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Luna looks exactly like Misato with just like curlier hair, wavier hair.
Right, but these designs, in a way, they did kind of standardize, I think.
They're very like the '90s.
Right, but the thing is, they carried on past that. You can still
true.
See,
They're still pop. Yeah.
You can still see their influence today.
Yeah.
Like. You'll see somebody and go, oh, that's supposed to be kind of an Asuka-looking character with the hair and.
Yeah. Well, especially any sort of character that looks like Rey.
Yeah, of any character from that, she's probably the one that became the most iconic.
Definitely.
Which is interesting given her personality.
I dislike eating meat.
Yeah, she's the vegan. Yes.
Yeah. Which is weird because it's kind of a defiant. I know it's because Anna's a vegan, but it kind of comes off as being defiant to demand having a certain type of food.
Yeah.
Because
to a certain extent, that's part of Rey's personality too. Because her whole thing is, by the end, she becomes her own person, and sort of rebels against Homeboy.
Right. She like crushes his glasses, just all pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was a deep-seated loathing. Like you keep bringing me back to life.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Also, the thing about the designs is, they were originally designed to not be made into 3D like merchandise.
Yep.
And it's true, at the time they were not very replicable.
Yeah, they took it to the company, and the company said, this is going to be difficult to make into a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, much less a pillow or
Well, I would say that Ava did popularize also the sort of
obscene amounts of merchandise.
Yes, well that, but also like the Moe figurine.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah,
because Ava kind of popularized the how many Asuka and Rey figures are there?
I don't know. Tiffany Grant has a whole room of those.
3 Asukas and 2 Reys right behind me, so.
If I'm not mistaken.
I don't have any of them, but I do have a Mari.
I need to get a Mari.
I actually have 2. One I got sent
kind of
years
amazing.
ago.
I'm not gonna lie. She very much was clearly a money maker idea.
Oh, I know.
Oh, certainly.
But glasses.
And it works.
Anubis is just like, work for me, gimme. No, but the show itself, there's a lot of interesting things, and I like the interplay between both the score and like moments of introspection and all that. Where you'll just see them sitting there by themselves.
How are the names of the songs? Mother is the best other.
Oh yeah, again, some really bizarre psychological stuff.
Yeah.
I marking time, waiting for death. Although that's actually a really ominous piece of music.
Yeah, it is.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's like when he runs out of air, and it's playing that ding, ding, ding. kind of that pinging sound.
Yeah.
And just like it feels very suffocating, which is it almost reminds me of a more subtle version of the Sonic You're Drowning theme.
You know what? That works. That works as a comparison. I never thought of that before, but
that music's really terrifying.
It causes you to panic.
Which means it did its job.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's like the piano. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like that, and it really works for every track they have.
Right, and that particular one,
battle, and
I love that
spending time in preparation.
Right,
like what? Anytime they're setting up all the military stuff, and
Angel Attack.
Anytime they're doing any of that, it really works.
But it doesn't just work there. It works in pretty much every capacity they shot for, really.
Yep.
Even
episode 9, where they're doing the dance.
Oh yeah, dance like if you want to win, or the synchronized jumping.
Well, one of my favorite songs is actually the thing that's the episode preview.
Yep.
Jikai Yokodo.
The one we've used as an intro.
Yes.
Exactly.
And remember, there'll be more fan service.
And by fan service, we mean death.
Yeah. I'm fully admit that I never knew "Fly Me to the Moon" was a Frank Sinatra song.
Until after Evangelion, I never.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, and that's a good point, because that's a classic song, and it's obviously not Japanese. but clearly the music direction really had an obsession with that song.
Yeah.
Because all the different versions of it, like some of which are weird, like they have the like Beach Boys kind of like bouncing around version. Like what the fuck is this?
The very Englishy one.
Right. There's an instrumental one.
Yes.
Again, sounds like it's almost like some kind of island Hulu dancing kind of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm the more music guy, I guess, of the bunch. So anything like that always really sticks out to me, and it really does. I even have the soundtrack for it.
Oh yeah, I have a few of them.
Childhood memories, Shut Away.
I always really liked. Again, I hate to bring it up yet again, but yes, that marking time waiting for death always struck me as very, very effective, because that is the thing it most reminds me of, is the Sonic drowning music, except slowed down and kind of warped.
Yeah.
But it does for a while, and then it starts going really fast, and it's like, something wrong here,
Also,
and it works.
I can't remember, but it's like a really happy sounding one. Not Misato's theme, but
is it Asuka's theme? That kind of slightly country twang to it.
No, not that one either. It's the one.
I know which one you're talking about. Background music, I think. I think the actual title track is background music.
Yeah, that could be it.
I don't. I haven't memorized the names of them.
I have it here. I'm looking at my iTunes right now.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm trying to decisive battle of these.
Right. I always liked
Yeah, there it is. Background music. I'm not gonna play it, but.
Right. Well, the thing is it knew when to use stuff too.
The musical timing of this series was absolutely spot on.
Impeccable. It would have. Anytime it would have the again, the more introspective moments, like where Shinji's having like his freak out moments or something like that, it always worked really well, because sometimes they would just have it be more silent.
Evangelion really nailed down when to have music
and when not to. I would say
nailed down when to just be quiet.
I would say in general, anime's a lot better about that.
Yeah.
Than a lot of Western media, because at every time we have people talking or doing something, always.
Well, that's anime dubs, especially like from the 80s, that would be on TV. They always would have to have something talk.
Yeah, they
have or a narrator.
Well, that's only proven my point, really.
Exactly.
Or a narrator having to explain what's going on.
We Americans. as it were, do not like there to be absolute silence for effect. It seems like that.
Yeah.
And I'm not even trying to make fun of us so much as it just seems to be the truth. Because
Exactly.
even looking at big blockbuster movies, that's never really usually true.
Yeah.
There's always someone talking, some music or something going on, etc. There's some kind of audible thing going on.
Well, okay, half in, half out. For like the real big mainstream stuff, there isn't a lot of silence going on. But if you go back in time, if you go,
Oh, for sure.
a lot of the older stuff, so a lot of film noir and all that kind of stuff, they know how to use silence.
Oh, sure they do. Like if you watch a lot of even what do you call it? Silent films.
Mm.
Just that don't have any talking in them.
Drawn Girl brings up a good point. What she finds really fascinating about Evangelion is how polarizing it is with Western fans. Here it's a show you either love or hate, but in Japan it's a show pretty much everyone loves.
That's true, because I come across a lot of people who can't stand the characters. Like they think Shinji's a pussy and this and that. And that's interesting to me, because that's, in many cases, seems to be ignoring the kind of problems he has.
I used to hate Shinji, but now it to me it's like it works for the character. That's
Bingo.
Well, the thing is, he clearly has abandonment issues, like big time.
and he does eventually what he's supposed to do. It's not like he doesn't.
Well, right, but the idea that why isn't he kicking ass and fucking these girls and stuff, just makes me
You guys want
kind of chuckle a little bit.
You guys want a Go Nagai.
No, you guys
Anime.
want an 80s action movie.
Yeah, exactly, and this ain't it.
Yeah. That's exactly what they're. Yeah.
And no, that he's a weak, frail character. That's what he's supposed to be.
That's his character.
With a toothpick.
But it.
Really. You know what's great is in the rebuild how they actually reference that with Asuka instead.
Yeah. Well, with the straw. Yeah.
Yeah. She comes out in the same kind of position. That was entertaining.
Something I notice about Evangelion, and this from the anime club I used to be president of. Like every time I brought it up, people would start groaning because it's so confusing, and that's something I don't get.
I don't get that when they say, "Oh, it's so confusing." What? It's not that. I know. Don't say about the.
If you pay attention, they actually do explain anything, but you have to use more than 10% of your brain while watching the show, and that's
also the Christian imagery is just there.
It's just that.
Just there to look cool.
That's exactly what they
Ignore it.
They said that. Put it this way: it's the equivalent of us having a monastery in a martial arts movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No. It's there to be all zen-like and because it's there for flavor. It's not there to really mean anything.
Yeah, but that's one thing I keep encountering. People saying Evangelion is really confusing, which to me says they didn't actually pay attention when they watched it,
or they were paying attention to the wrong thing,
or they haven't watched it and are just going off what other people are saying.
I don't know. I never thought it was terribly confusing, except for the ending of it when I first encountered it, because I was a young teenager and was just kind of like, what the hell?
It took me a few times, but I have an understanding of what happens in the last two episodes. So it's not
like Divergence Eve where you watched it a couple times because you had to, because you kept fucking falling asleep mentally in it.
But yeah, it's like it's not something that just obfuscates every detail to where you actually can't get a grasp of what's going on. No, it explains the stuff. You just need to pay attention, and I think that's the problem.
Can we go into the rebuild stuff?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do rebuild.
I've only watched the first two. I've been lazy.
I thought you haven't seen 3 yet?
No. I mean, I wanted to, but it was one of those things where I just got kind of lazy about it.
All right. I've seen everything.
Yeah, I've seen all 3.
But I'm not so much that I care if you spoil it. I really don't. One thing I do, I mean, I've seen a couple of pictures and stuff people have been throwing around, and it only leads me to believe more that, rather than a reboot, it's almost like reliving the event.
Okay, actually, switching gears for a second, I think before we do Rebuild, we should cover End of Eva.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yes,
sort of real big, too.
Also known, and Death and Rebirth isn't really needing to be covered, really.
Not really.
Because it's an in-betweener, and it was more for its time than anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Than it was really of any
it's like
substance.
An interim between the actual series and End of Eva proper.
Right. So, you'll pick up on the way.
Yeah.
Um,
my favorite anime movie. Ever since I first saw it.
I won't go that far, but it's up there.
Yeah, same thing. I wouldn't go that far, but it is a well-regarded thing that I like.
A lot of the imagery, and it's even more fucked up than the show.
Yeah.
Which is saying a lot. Like the one scene I remember more than any other, and I know you guys are going to know exactly what I'm talking about, is when Shinji cracks.
Yeah.
Like, you see his face, like, his eyes get all, like, demented, and he has this, like, quasi-smile on one side of his face.
Yep.
Like his head, he's just like completely broken.
Yeah, I was thinking of the.
It's very Lovecraftian. It's like, what did I just see? Kind of look.
I was just thinking of the other infamous scene.
Oh, Shinji. Shinji.
The first scene.
Yeah, Shinji playing with his pud over a comatose Asuka. Yes.
The very first action that happens in this movie.
Yes.
It really sets up the rest of the movie for you.
Yes. Anno is almost just like, fine, you didn't like my ending. You're gonna see Shinji beating it now.
Exactly.
That's what you get. It is really weird though, because she's laying there in her comatose state, and he just like rips open her. But
it's genuinely kind of disturbing, because the entire imagery surrounding it is like that whole thing happens. And then you see shots of various things around the room, and the door locked, and all you hear is heavy breathing.
And then you see like this hand all sticky and shit.
Exactly.
And then you just hear him kind of lament to himself. He's like, "I'm so fucked up."
Yeah, and you like the entire time you're wondering, is what I think is going on really going
on in there?
And then the question is answered for you. Yeah, the answer is yes.
Yes. So Shinji was fapping. Yep. This is canon.
Evidently, Drawing Girl considers that fan service. Which is fine. That's all I'll say about it. Which is fine.
Well, you mean you're not gonna make gay jokes about him and Kaoru?
Plenty of those have been made.
That's like, yeah. So we're gonna shower together and make blushing faces at each other. That there's nothing suggestive about that. Not at all.
You know what? Even that is sort of disturbing to me, because how you see Shinji so happy there is because this is the first person who's shown him any kind of real tenderness.
Oh yeah. And like, oh wow, he's blushing and he's not aroused.
Yeah. It's like,
Speaking of which, we forgot to mention that.
Yeah, we completely skipped over.
A lot of people don't like Magma Diver. They think it's one of the more filler episodes of the series.
I can see how people think that.
I wouldn't consider any episode of this show filler.
No, but at the same time, I know why they say it, because it's more of a happy-go-lucky excursion in comparison to some of the rest of it.
To a certain extent, but it still has some character development. It's still like.
Come on, you just want to see Asuka in a skimpy outfit.
Listen, all right, that's secondary. I'm not saying that's not a factor, but there's also some character development going on there too, and yeah.
You also gotta love that thing where she falls asleep next to Shinji out on the cot.
Oh yeah.
And like suddenly her breasts get like 10 times bigger
somehow.
And the great look on his face while he's got that cassette tape, which, by the way, in 2015, I don't think you're going to see that too commonly.
Yeah, no.
Somehow in the future we're still
wasn't there an explanation like it was something that his mother or father owned.
Something like that.
I think so. I think I
they
heard
kinda
something about that somewhere. And in all honesty, I could see that Anno just pulling it out of his ass when someone called him on it. Just like, yeah, that's like a memento. Because he's been known to do that, like him or not. He's been known to backtrack or say, oh, well, that's not really how it is.
Yeah.
So anybody who uses something Anno says as a citation, be careful about that. Because he's said conflicting things on a couple of occasions.
Drawing Girl mentions that people consider Shinji's classmate being selected as an Eva pilot to have nothing to do with the story. So, which just shows to me that they have no idea what the word fiddler means.
Right. Well, it actually, yeah, it does, because it makes him go into that really disturbing situation we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Which really is. It has that very Hitchcockian, like, done
Yes,
moment.
exactly.
And then, of course, you hear that echo out while the credits go out. Again, spectacular musical direction.
Yeah. But going back to End of Evangelion, between the first half and the second half, it sort of like deviates from itself. Like the way the first half goes and the way the second half goes are completely different.
Oh, for sure.
But
the first half is more like the show.
Yeah, the first half is more. I'd say the first half is more like the first half of the actual series.
And the second half gets all
more like
metaphysical. What the fuck is this?
Exactly. Because the first half, you got like the UN forces invading.
Oh yeah,
Earth,
Seele gets medieval on their ass.
They like, and the entire complete bloodbath.
Oh, it's gory as hell.
Which, by the way,
this place was just not designed to be invaded by troops.
Nobis, did you get to the third episode of Hackadal?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, all right, because it would have tied into this episode quite well.
But yeah, I mean, it gets because they even mentioned it wasn't really set up for against people coming in like that.
Yeah,
and it is an absolute massacre.
To a certain extent, doesn't that kind of make sense?
Oh, it does, and it also makes sense that they do that too.
Yeah, hey, Seele administrates Nerve. Let's design the place so if these people start acting a fool, we can just send troops in and wipe the place out.
Well, the thing
that
is,
makes complete sense.
They have suspicions Gendo's up to something right from the beginning.
Yeah.
But they still do it anyway because they figure, well, he's still going along with what we want.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is one really interesting piece of biblical imagery in there, whether how much you want to read into it or not, and that's Keel.
Mm.
Some people said he's supposed to be the Wandering Jew.
The Wandering Jew.
Which, the more you think about it, the more it does kind of have somewhat of some substance to it, I think.
Yeah.
Because he wants to bring about the end.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, for
Is
some
Keel
reason.
the guy with the white hair?
Yes.
Yeah, and he wants to, for some reason, bring about the end. That's never completely fully explored, in my opinion. Or maybe I'm just not remembering.
Well, to a certain extent, the entire thing is humanity's evolution has stopped, so now we have to artificially catalyze the next evolutionary step.
Which, in this case, is to bring everybody into a sentient being.
Yep.
Which basically, is exactly what you're thinking of. Basically, becoming "quote unquote" God.
Yeah. It's like the where mankind took the tree of knowledge, took the fruit from the tree of knowledge, and now they're trying to make it so we can also have the fruit from the tree of life.
Again, this isn't just us blowing smoke out of our ass. This actually really does have a lot of. This actually can be pretty much proven with some of the stuff in it.
Oh yeah, they mentioned some of this stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The Sephiroth and all that.
Yep.
Again, there's a lot of imagery, but some of it actually is genuinely supposed to be taken into consideration.
Like it's aesthetic, but it makes sense in place.
Oh, for sure.
Like the stuff with the tree of knowledge, tree of life thing, it makes sense in context, but at the same time it's just there to look cool, which I think is masterful.
Oh, for sure. You can almost put into it as much as you want to.
Yeah.
Which can be very little, or, well, you've been to Ava Geeks, haven't you? Seriously, if you've never been there, it's wow.
But yeah, it also, people are mentioning in the chat, also masterful with the music in End of Evangelion.
Oh yeah, again,
masterful.
they still did some really cool stuff there. One of the scenes I really like is when the gigantic ray is the world is like it's coming up and she's like tying it.
Don't forget
into like the nipple looking deal.
Yep.
Don't forget the song.
Oh yes,
Sweet
yes.
Death.
Yeah. Yes. Come sweet death. Which is disturbingly fitting, really.
Like the song itself is upbeat,
But the lyrics
but
are
the
just
lyrics
like
are-
awful. They're just like they're not fun.
Yeah, no.
They sound like some kind of death hymn, you know.
Yeah.
But the way they're bouncy and kind of almost poppy, you know.
Like, yeah, and like the entire scene where that happens, where all the
Souls are being kind of transmigrated.
souls are coming up into the egg of Lilith, and all the mass production Avas, they've all grown ray heads, and they're all giggling while they spear themselves with Lance of Longinus.
Right, and of course you got people popping like crazy, like
Yeah, that the whole
that
sequence
one
where
when they're seeing what they want to see,
exactly.
which that definitely tells us that Maya is a lesbian.
Oh yeah.
That every time I see that almost makes me cry, because it's like they're so happy. They're all so happy, except for the one dude who just has to be assailed by a trillion rays.
Like he's just screaming and trying to get away.
He screams and she touches his shoulder and pop.
That whole imagery is fucked up. The music playing around, and like I said, some people are just giving in, you know, because I guess that's again more Christian allegory. How they say, you know, angels come in the form of something that is familiar.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Again, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but that's certainly an allegory, really. You can definitely make parallels there.
Oh yeah.
And again, a lot of interesting stuff, and it's not the first time I've seen anything like that in terms of that kind of imagery either.
Yeah.
Because in Berserk, it's kind of like that. Like when they're branded, like they're seeing things that really aren't there, and while they're being slaughtered.
Let's not forget Aeon, which I
right, which I made a joke about that when I was kind of promoting the show.
Also, Zermeyer is very Ava-like.
Right. No, I mean to say this is the most original thing ever is a lie.
Yeah. So I think we should
that just means you haven't seen enough old anime.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we should get to the rebuilds.
Okay.
Right, so
well, let's just cap off the movie real quick here then. What are you guys' thoughts on it in comparison to the show?
I think since the first movie is based on the first 6 episodes, I think the first 6
we're talking about End of Evangelion, right?
Yes.
Or Rebuild.
Yeah, Evangelion.
End of Evangelion.
End of Evangelion. I said cap off the.
End of Ava. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Shit.
I think saying in comparison to the show is. I think it doesn't give I think it does the franchise a disservice. I firmly believe that the last 2 episodes of the TV series and End of Evangelion
They're the same thing.
are well, they're the same thing, but I believe they're strongest together.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I remember reading somewhere that he said that End of Evangelion was the external version of what was happening.
Yeah. I remember reading
Whereas the
that.
end of the show was the internal aspect of what's happening. And honestly, it was just an excuse to show Asuka in ass-kicking mode, and
Yeah.
Misato wanting to get her groove on with Shinji, and which there's a part of me that wishes that would have happened.
To a certain extent, yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm just being a perv, but could be. But I always liked her as a character, like big time. Whether it be with her beret on or whether she having the high ponytail.
Beret is fantastic.
Yeah.
Big fan of the beret.
Yeah, of course you are. But yeah, good stuff. Now, what's interesting is when the rebuild things were announced, we all thought, well, Anno must be low on money. Well, come on, you had to have had that thought at some point. Well, he's really milking it now. Because there was no real... Because the idea was, well, I got to make it how it was really supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
No, I think, hey, I want some more money. I mean, if you can prove us wrong on that, that's fine. But I'm still going to believe it whether you do or not.
The differences between the series and the Rebuild franchise is so dissimilar, I can't believe for a second that Rebuild is the purest version of the...
I look at it this, and I think you guys will agree with me on this. I look at it as, hey, it's more Evangelion, and it's fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's all I care about. The series is always going to be prominent for me. It's always going to be the best thing.
I will say that I
That's my
think I
favorite anime.
prefer since the first Rebuild movie is the 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Right. There's really nothing new there.
I prefer just the 6 episodes
Same here.
because
Oh, me too. Because there's more time for it to kind of stew around and do stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't feel like it's just wham, wham, wham. The same problem happens with a lot of the Gundam compilative movies.
Exactly.
With the exception of the original.
Yeah.
The original series, they worked pretty well.
Well, that's the problem people had with F91. Was supposed to be a series, but then they had to
Right.
cram everything into a movie.
But that's what you got, and that's all you can really deal with it.
I love that movie, so
there
that's
you
to
go.
anyone that hates it. Sorry.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of haters, Drawing Girl comments, I find it irritating when people call Rebuild of Evangelion is Evangelion for people who hate Evangelion.
I'm on the flip side of that. It's for people that just want to see more of it.
Yeah.
It really is, because, okay, maybe not the first movie. The first movie really is just kind of a crammed compilation of the first 6 or whatever episodes.
Yeah, but from the second movie, it starts
You start seeing some severe divergence.
this wild just deviation, goes completely off.
Even the characters' personalities change quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Shinji is nowhere near as timid, in my opinion. Rei is even a little more outspoken.
Yeah.
Just
Nicer.
Asuka's a pirate. Yar! Don't you dare try to make a dojin with me getting it in the eye.
Oh man,
You know it's out
That-
there.
that hadn't occurred to me until now, but I know what to search for after we're done.
I hope you're kidding. This is the Asuka eye socket. Just like tags,
But
Hello, Gelburu.
that was I was digging on Pirate Asuka. I'm not gonna lie.
For some reason, I couldn't, and I don't know. I'm just not really a pirate guy.
Also, what we're talking about 3 now.
I'm talking about the entire Rebuild franchise at this point. I think, but yeah,
2 has a lot of interesting things. I love when it goes into beast mode.
yeah,
That was really cool. I was really pumped about that.
And then in 3, it went into it pretty much became a tiger.
Super Saiyan mode or.
Yeah.
No, it very much became a tiger.
But it's like I really liked what 3 did. I think because since Chaos hasn't, basically what 3 did was End of Evangelion happened, and a whole bunch of people are still alive. Instrumentality occurred, a whole bunch of people are still alive, and like this is the world after
Life
all
after
that
people.
I thought
But
it was instrumentality was on pause. That's what I heard.
Well, you see all the skeletons of people, and you see the big egg of Lilith.
Also, no more nerve.
Yeah, Nerve is.
But
What's the new thing called? Willy or something?
Will, Wille.
oh, the German word, yeah.
Um,
Again,
But
I
yeah, like,
haven't
for
really
the- for the-
seen it, so.
For the first like half hour, it's space battleship Yamato.
Also, yeah, it happens 14 years after,
Yeah,
but
Interesting. So
all the Ava pilots have
Haven't
aged.
aged.
Yeah,
they haven't.
no.
Nope.
Okay, so no Christmas cake Asuka, you know.
no, unfortunately.
Ah,
I will say, like, again, I don't want to say too much, but you're not gonna like Misato in this one.
what is she, a bitch?
Kind of.
Yeah,
Kind of.
she is.
Yeah.
Like
It's almost like-
in what capacity?
He's almost like the new Gendo, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I wouldn't go that far.
Neo
I
Gendo.
would not go that far.
Well, it's like this.
But
Shinji has a bomb collar throughout the
Oh,
they do put a bomb call on.
well, like so he doesn't run off.
But well, no, like everything else in Evangelion, there's good reason for it.
there's a part
Do not
that
touch yourself or Asuka, or this thing will blow up.
there's a part in the movie that like really gets to you, like just how shitty the world is, and it's kind of subtle, but it like hits you, and that's when he's eating he's in prison, and they're giving when Shinji's in like the prison, and they're giving him like lunch, like food, and the food is practically just paste. It's colored paste. So
That just
that
Reminds
just
me of
tells
that
you like
Simpsons episode. It's not real gruel, it's imitation gruel.
it pretty much.
Orphans don't know the difference.
Yeah, there's no like.
It's like grinding up gin mats and shit. Like,
There's no farming or whatever, so that's what you have to eat.
There's no farmers.
yeah.
There's no
Oh,
people.
So
it's like
it's,
this is just
colored
a
paste.
bunch of paste that was left behind.
But
A bunch of glue.
they really captured the entire post-apocalypse feel, like in a way that I've never seen it captured before. Because it's
Yeah.
like nobody's here, everything is destroyed.
also the
Tokyo
Ava,
3 ain't a thing anymore.
also the Ava designs are like really like crazy in this one. They're very like almost fan fiction-y.
I feel like the entire Rebuild saga could have been someone's Evangelion fanfiction.
Yeah. There's a what is it?
Unit 13.
Yeah, Unit 13, which is basically that's the thing. Like he doesn't pilot 01 anymore because 01's inside this like ship.
Yeah, 01 is inside the battleship Yamato I mentioned earlier.
He so he pilots a thing along with Karu. They kind of do something similar to the Dance I Want to Win thing, but it's the two of them playing piano at the same time.
Hmm.
In a very like yaoi fodder-ish type of.
But
yeah.
this
Yaoi
will
baby.
certainly spawn dojins and fanfiction.
So.
Yeah, just come on, put that in A minor.
Yeah. So Ray is actually a different clone
Hmm.
from.
Yeah, it's a different Ray this time.
Yeah. And so Ava 13 gets like 4 arms.
The General Grievous treatment.
Pretty much, and then like just turns all white near the end.
Yeah, it becomes like the new Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It starts fourth impact now since third impact already happened.
And also, like I said, O2 becomes a tiger, essentially.
Again, I need to get on this, don't I?
It was a really good movie. Like I had my apprehensions at first.
It's very decisive. It's very like there are people who are like do not like this movie. I'm just, you know what? It's more Ava. It's good action. That's all I care about.
You know, it's probably never going to be canon in my mind. So
Yeah.
My thing, I don't compare the rebuild movies to the original series.
No, it's almost like you'd probably think of it as like an auxiliary thing.
Yeah.
It's got crazy shit.
Yeah, crazy shit. There we go.
It's a fan fiction, and like not to disparage it for that, but it's a fanfic.
Gotcha. Well, again,
That's the
so
way I see it, at least.
so
Like,
what's the news on the fourth one then?
Well, like I said, he's working on that. He's gonna do that new Godzilla, but they're gonna do. He's gonna do. I think it was called like 3+1.
Yeah, it's Ava 3.0 plus 1.0.
That's like the title.
That's
So you know how they do the like the preview for the next movie, even though it might not be anything that actually will happen in the next movie.
yes.
They showed off. It's the O2 and the O and
08.
Yeah,
Ava
yeah,
8 plus 2.
Yeah, it's basically half and they're basically symmetrical docking.
They
Half and
split
half.
them down the middle and just stitch them both together as Ava 8 plus 2.
Interesting.
And finding a bunch of mass-produced, kind of like the thing at End of Ava, but they don't look like anything like those.
Right. Okay, I got what you're saying now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Evangelion, it's fairly cerebral compared to a lot of other stuff.
Also, it's a very short movie compared to the others. It's only like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just to kind of cap off everything with Evangelion. Pretty interesting that they decided to do this. I honestly think it was monetarily influenced more than anything else, or even just trying to get it back in the sphere again.
I don't know. I honestly can't really speculate because to a certain extent, maybe they wanted to bring Ava back into the consciousness.
That's what I meant when I said that.
Yeah,
bring it into the public sphere again.
Yeah. But to a certain extent, it's like, do they really need to do that? Because it's Evangelion.
If they want money, they do.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
You know, because now Haruhi and so forth and Madoka are the big cash cows.
Hmm.
And rightfully so. I mean,
Yeah, they're not bad. But the thing I like about Evangelion, like just as a concept, is that it was really responsible for a lot of the things we take for granted in anime now.
Oh, for sure. You could say largely that's kind of where the tsundere was kind of planted.
Yep.
Yeah. Sadly, there was anime before that had tsundere, including what I mentioned before, Nadia.
Yeah.
It put it on the map.
It popularized it.
Exactly.
Right. Even though in the case of Asuka, there wasn't really much in the way of Dere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It popped up.
We knew it was there, but it didn't really.
It was more like 85-15, you know.
More like 95 and 5.
95 and 5.
I was being
We
generous.
didn't get the chance to.
This is the Wall of Jericho.
Yes. You step one foot across here and you're a dead man.
But going back, it's like even that had its sort of deeper level, because later on in the series you see like the image of her on the other side of the wall, and it's like, damn, why won't he come over and bang me?
Yeah. Might I ask, That was my least favorite thing about him in that entire thing, in the entire fucking franchise. That he just kind of stood there like a dipshit while she like grabbed his nose and gave him a deep mouth kiss.
Who kisses people just because they're bored? Dog, he likes you. She likes you.
He might be a he. Ooh, you don't know. You don't know. Shitlord.
Mission failed.
Maybe
it's trans. I'm sorry.
Maybe it's Pen in disguise.
Maybe Asuka's trans.
He just made that joke.
But yeah, it's like you see that she really does have a thing for him, but she can't articulate that, and he obviously has a thing for her, but he can't articulate that either.
Right. One of the scenes I always liked was when he's in the hospital and she's like sneaking around the corner with this like hilarious look on her face, like, oh no, she can't. He's gonna see me. Ah. Yeah. That was. It had its moments of humor, which is not really something you would think in a show like this. But it never felt odd either, though.
It didn't feel out of place.
Naturally, it didn't feel out of place. It felt more conversational than that. I mean, most of the humor was situational. I mean, and when nothing nasty was happening.
Yeah.
Like when they're out in the hot springs and like he lobs the shampoo bottle over and it apparently hit her in the cooch or something. Because she's like, it hit me in my private part. Ooh, let me check it out.
Let's not forget in episode 26, the Genki girl Ray.
Oh, with the toast in her mouth.
The alternate reality.
the Sailor Moon.
I like how there's like 5 different franchises of Evangelion media that spawned from that one part in the last episode.
It was a popular part.
Like Angelic Days, the Ikari Raising Project. It's like...
Yeah, and again, Ray being very assertive, and it's like, what are you riding his baloney pony?
Remember in the beginning, because he was living with Asuka, and it's like, I gotta take a whiz or something.
yeah, it's just like, I didn't say to get that up. Boom, boom, boom. Just like clubbing him. And like Gendo and stuff, sitting there just drinking coffee, reading
Gendo's a normal dude.
Just reading the Wall Street Journal or whatever, just like looking at taxes and like, yeah, that whole thing was very amusing.
You saw my panties, didn't you? Maybe she's got a nice butt.
And of course he's right in there with Toshi and the gang, like hanging out the window, hooting and hollering at fucking Misato as their teacher. The reason that's funny is because of his characterization, though.
Yeah.
And how completely kind of not like that he actually is.
Well, that was the whole thing. It was supposed to be what is the reality you would like to see?
What could happen? What would you like this reality to be like?
Misato didn't seem all that far apart.
No. You're basically spot
on. Asuka was a little nicer, but still had that kind of fiery temper, I guess.
Yep.
But Ray was totally different.
Complete like it's Ray, like the difference between the series and the rebuild movies for Ray.
Yeah, Ray is basically like Usagi running to school or something like that, but more spunky and I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate that little flight of fancy there.
Yeah.
Just kind of this is what could be.
Could be is a generic anime harem.
Yeah, let's make Evangelion into a school comedy.
See, I feel like the people in, like, remember I said about in my art school, like, and they're watching it, but they wouldn't get, see me, I would get those subtleties more. Like, oh, this is supposed to be, like, a harem anime.
Yeah,
that's the alternate reality, him in a harem situation.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they would just find something to complain about it.
Of course.
like, oh, this is shit, you know, blah blah blah. You know, not only missing the point, but
Oh, I remember there was not in it was the same class, but not in the one that I was in. But there was a student who was like really gay. Not that I care. He was like no, like very stereotypically. He didn't like Enda Ava.
mm.
Like he just came from seeing that. It was like Ava. So like that. It's like I was like, what's wrong? I just saw Enda Ava.
Okay, so why did you bring up the fact that he was gay?
Because I did give you the description of who this person was.
Okay, that really didn't tell us what he was though. That just told us he liked penis.
Never mind.
Drunk girl comments in the chat. Misato should never change. She's perfection as she is. Sans dating a guy that reminds her of her dad.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. I forgot about that little.
Little detail.
Well, Kaji was kind of funny throughout. Really, he almost came across as, especially early on, as a comic relief character almost.
Yeah.
If I have one thing to complain about the rebuild, one thing, like missed opportunity, is I wish they actually showed what happened to Unit 04.
Oh, the S2 engine test type?
Yes.
Yeah,
I wish they showed...
I wish they would have showed that at any point in time.
Right. Well, maybe it's one of those things in the fourth movie they're like, aha, you know. I don't know.
Because I know it like, you know, it was in like Nevada or something.
Yeah, it was in the Nevada facility, and as soon as they turned it on,
like
the
whole
entire
base
facility disappeared into a sea of Dirac. It's like, okay.
Yeah, it's like some kind of Doctor Who shit. You know?
That's there now. The Nevada testing facility is gone. It's replaced with a void.
We don't really. That's the thing. Is it's like we're working with stuff we don't really understand.
Yeah.
But we're still working with it anyway.
And that I really like that about the entirety of the Evangelion.
Oh yeah.
Series. Like they don't actually understand what they're doing.
What they're actually doing. It's like experimental testing, like with the atom bomb and things like that, where they weren't 100% sure. They had the math and all this stuff down, but they weren't really sure what was going to happen until they tried it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Remember the scene when it goes in berserk mode?
Which
one? Well, not the first one. The one when it was fighting. I forgot the name of the angel. The one that it was eating.
I think that was Zeruel.
Yeah.
The one where it took the angel's arm and put it in its own shoulder and grew an arm.
Just remember the one. What's her name? Maya. She like throws up.
Oh yeah. And then he gets on it gets on all fours and starts crawling around.
Yeah, exactly.
That is very primal. And I think that was not coincidence. Right. I think that was the point, to make it very primal.
Yeah.
To make it very feral, you know.
They really cannot actually control these things.
And even as a superior, like, god being, it still acts like a primitive man.
Yeah, the Ava voice is the same as Ray.
Seriously?
I hope Ray doesn't make noises like that when she's getting busy.
Shit, I'm trying to remember the name. It was a famous Seiyu. And I can't remember. I'm blanking on
nobody wants to hear that weird moan and yell when they're doing the mattress mumbo.
Megumi Hayabara.
Oh yeah, Megumi, of course. I forgot. Yeah, she did do her.
How did that conversation went down?
Hayashibara. Yeah.
We really like your performance as Ray. We also need you to do a second character.
We also need you to do a very loud dinosaur-like noise. Well, why? Why me? We overspent. Which, while that's a joke, it might be true.
Hey, wait. She also did Yui Ikari.
That I knew.
Pen and Unit 01.
Yeah,
we forgot about Pen.
Yeah, he's just like staring at Shinji's junk. You remember that? When he's sitting there after he lobbed the thing over, he's just standing there. And he's got this like It's got this like giant like eyes bulging out of its head kind of look on its face like, holy shit, he's got a boner.
Yeah.
I do not need to be this close to him.
Yeah. Wow, she was in a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, very prolific.
No, yeah, she was also Lena Inverse,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken. From
Also,
the Slayers.
Christina McKenzie in War in the Pocket.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know, someone with an actual normal name in a Gundam show.
Normal name, nothing like South Burning.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For those who don't get that, or who've never really watched any Gundam, it's notorious for the naming scheme.
Raraya Monday.
Ramba Rao.
Rambo, full frontal.
Oh, come on. We don't.
Any of the Tomino. Well, actually, any Tomino show is always gonna have those.
Yeah.
Camille Bidan.
Camille's a girl's name.
Mauer Pharaoh.
For Murasame.
Well, we're talking outside of Gundam stuff like Shot Weapon, Marvel Frozen.
Wow, he sounded like Ozzy from fucking Chrono Trigger right there.
Full Flat from Elgheim.
But yes, there's just even the ones that don't have Tamino are pretty strange.
Yeah.
I love this
Mu
like
the Flaga.
I love this like sort of rivalry between Tomino and Anno. It's like the most hilarious because they're both like
Old and crazy.
Yeah.
Exactly. They're both. Although I will say like Tomino is like a generation before.
Ahead of him.
Yeah.
Well,
So like, compared to Tomino, Anno's a young whippersnapper.
I don't know.
I
I
never thought I'd be able to describe Hideki Anno as a young whippersnapper, but compared to Tomino.
The funny thing about Tomino, though, at least to me, is as I love reading his interviews, there's always at least one hilarious line in them.
Yeah, the dude's crazy.
Yeah, like I don't particularly like robot animation.
Oh yeah,
that killed me. Like the thing is, I can't tell if he was serious or not, but I don't think it really matters.
I really don't, cause
like even if he was being serious, it somehow makes sense because it's Tomino.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's always something crazy, like when something crazy when Anno is interviewed too.
Oh yeah. He has a lot of like lines too that you just
like
scratch
when he
your
said,
head.
like Anno said, when I look out the window, I don't see any adults. Now he didn't mean literally. He means the fact that like
People acting like children.
yeah, exactly.
You would probably think so too if you were getting death threats about the ending of a show you made.
Yeah, let's be real. But and to close the segment out, I'd actually like to recommend everyone read the Notenkin Memoirs
Yeah, I need
by
to.
Yasuhiro Takeda, because it really gives you an insight of where everyone who was involved with Gainax at that point, like up to and including the point where Ava was finished, came from and how that all came to be, because it is a truly inspiring story, let me tell you.
Not only that, watch Otaku no Video.
Watch Otaku no Video as well. Like Otaku no Video is like the artistic license version of the Notenki Memoirs.
It's interesting to watch because it really is one of those behind the scenes kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, there's creative license because of the nature of what it is, but
Naturally, but both the Notenki Memoirs and Otaku no Video, if you're a fan of Gainax around that era, definitely recommend it, because it gives you insight into the minds of who created this stuff.
Also, you need to check out that thing. Hideki Anno goes back to his elementary school.
I remember that.
You need to see that. It's great, because there's a man that's like totally afraid of people, like being around children.
Mm-hmm.
And they give him like, and it gives them like an animation lesson and asking questions like, where'd you come up with the name from Evangelion? And and all that stuff.
It's a Greek term. Spreading the good news.
In any case, we are up against the break. Keep it right here on NTR Radio. Let's do this.
Got it. I know you're not going to play that. Although it is getting toward Halloween. That is pretty scary.
Yeah, we want to scare off.
It's like some awful version of the Jaws theme. I love the fact that Villainous couldn't handle it. And he's just like, nope. Well, no, he watched that one, but he tried to watch another one, just like made it a minute in, and he's like, nope. I can't deal with that. Right. What's going on?
Drawing girl in the chat. It's just one of those days.
Oh, it's so terrible. I don't know what's worse, the song or the video. Because that video is pretty bad.
The video was awful. I think everything, like from front to finish, from start to finish, it just was not very good at all.
In a dictionary under the term awful, there's a clip of this. Chilling here eating some Starburst. That's not product placement. I really am eating them.
Yeah, you would. Wait, is anyone there? Okay, you're there.
We're here.
Okay, you would love the third episode of Hackadog because it was pretty much an Ava parody, and it's including the you know how they used the same animation for Sele over.
Oh yeah, with the
monoliths.
Oh no, before they were turned into monoliths, where they were just the guys, and you had the one guy with the really big nose.
Yep.
Yeah, they did that, and it was done in 3/4
perspective.
Yeah. The what's that? The format.
Mm-hmm. Was it the under the nose shot? To where you could you just see the head, but you see the giant nose like it's a fucking
No.
like it. No. But you know what I'm talking about though, like from the bottom up shot, where it looks like it's like a carport thing, where it's covering over the like shadowing part of stuff. Holy shit, that's funny. It's like protecting Sele from the rain. Shut up, you've got thin nose privilege.
I'm sure there'll be a thing too.
While that's a joke, I could see somebody hearing that clip in isolation and getting an idea.
Yeah, this email's going to be interesting. Just letting you know, there's going to be an interesting email. I have no idea what could have brought on the person asking about this topic, but it's going to be interesting.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Can it beat the ceiling?
It's not going to beat the ceiling, but then again, that wasn't an email.
No.
That was an abortion.
It might not be real either. See, yeah, it's an abortion. See, this is Planned Parenthood. This is actual. See, the ceiling is actual footage.
You don't want to talk about people taking stuff out of context.
Like I said, I don't really care if that story's real or not. Does it matter?
It could be the new horror movie genre.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of like torture porn, it'll just be disgusting places
where people defecate, including putting it into like the oven
and
the crisper,
and just have names and just in the credits, Varen Bond feces.
John Go brings up a good point. People thought demisexual was a thing, even though it's a joke.
No, I saw it on some campus, like university, California something, .edu, and it's on there.
Oh yeah, not surprised. People have blown it up to the point where it's an actual thing now.
It's one of those things. If I see somebody actually says it and they're obviously being serious, you just kind of.
I don't become sexually attracted to someone unless I can form an emotional attachment to them.
So you mean you have standards?
You mean you're a person who... You mean you're not a hoe? Which is not to be disparaging to the hoes.
That's slut shaming.
If that didn't happen in this little out segment, I would suggest that be the episode name.
So you're not a hoe.
So you're not a hoe.
Alright, ready on third segment.
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to NTR Radio. We have mail.
Incoming message.
This one's coming in from Cube the Third. Hey guys, it's your old pal Cube the Third back again with an email. First off, a new Otaku Midnight coming at you this Tuesday with special guests Time Enforcer Anubis and the Geeky Panda. This time we'll be talking about anime con conversions. We hope to see you all there. I have one question, and this might get a bit into IRL politics, but what are your thoughts on conspiracy theorists? Like the ones who believe in the Illuminati, reptilians, 9/11 was planned, moon landing was fake, and there's hypnotic subliminal image messages in movies and shows and what have you. That's all I have. See you soon.
Oh boy, this is going to be fun.
I told you it was going to be an interesting email.
I think they're entertaining.
Way too much free time.
In some cases, the sad thing is a lot of the crazy shit that's been happening over the last year makes me a little more sympathetic to some of them.
Well, here's the thing. To a certain extent, these kinds of things do happen, but I feel like, especially for some of the examples that were given, I feel like there's a whole far too much credit put in the kinds of systems people set up to be able to cover that stuff up to that point. Where, like, do you seriously believe you're the only person who knows that the moon landing didn't happen? Everyone else just thinks it really happened, but you know that it really didn't happen.
Not only that, but that you still have a platform.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like, if what you're saying is true, is actually true, then by virtue of them having the capacity and the capability to cover that stuff up, to the extent where the vast majority of humanity thinks it happened, or like the vast majority of humanity thinks, believes, and buys into their cover-up, they certainly have the capacity to have you eliminated.
Right.
And cover that up, too.
And that's certainly true with the 9/11 thing.
Yeah. This is definitely getting into IRL politics. I think the entire 9/11 truther thing is remarkably insensitive.
Not only that, but do you really think government, the same groups that can't keep blowjobs under wraps, can fucking hijack our own shit and do that without getting caught?
It's like, let's be real. If they have the power to do one thing, they have the power. They have the power to do another.
Now, the thing with the Illuminati that I find interesting, if you wanted to say, hey, there's a couple groups of people that own everything, and I agree with you, because that's freaking true, and you can prove it.
Yeah, look at media. It's like what, 6 big media companies
that own like everything.
That own all big media.
Right, they actually had a thing in the 80s. There was more. In the 80s, it was about 50, and now it's about 6.
This is actually something that the instructor, when I was taking sociology class, yeah, I know. When I was taking sociology class, the instructor actually pointed us to this website. It's called theyrule.something. Like theyrule.info. It's not .info. I know that much.
But to be fair, that actually would be appropriate.
But it's theyrule.com, I think it is.
Well, you could always check.
But the entire premise is it's showing who is on the executive boards of various companies and the other executive boards they sit on.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get into this real intricate web of connections between a whole bunch of big companies and the people who sit on the executive board for this company and that company and that company and that company. All these interests are intertwined. So you can make a case for that being truly the case, but at the same time, doesn't necessarily mean that X happened or Y happened.
Right. Again, that also kind of plays into the correlation, causation thing, as well.
Exactly.
Just because these two companies are in bed with each other doesn't necessarily mean that they even like each other.
But I mean, at the same time, it's theyrule.net, by the way. At the same time, it's something I always say. It's bad to have a conflict of interest. It's just as bad to have something that appears to be a conflict of interest. Because from the outside looking in, it looks the same. Doesn't matter if there's actually conflict of interest there. If people find out that you have this interest and this also in this other interest that can be influenced by that first one, they will assume that that's why you're in the position you're in.
Right. I'll go out and say there's a great video out there. You can YouTube it, or search via Google or Bing or whatever to get to YouTube to find it. However you want to do it. That you could find this fantastic video of Buzz Aldrin decking somebody. that tries to that didn't really happen, and he just lays them down.
Yeah, that actually coined the term Buzz Aldrining, where is someone's talking nonsense like an idiot. You basically, not necessarily punch them, but publicly humiliate them in that way.
I don't know. I enjoyed that he hit him.
Oh yeah.
Just personally, just because he was annoying. I know, I'm violent.
But yeah, that's the kind of thing where you can make a case for some of these things, but other ones are just
Right. Like if you want to say, hey, a bunch of corporations pretty much have everything in the palm of their hands, I don't think too many people are just going to disagree with you. When you start talking about them being lizard men,
that's people or
We just saw the
shapeshifters.
V. We just saw the miniseries V.
and you know what? Even like the concept of the Illuminati is sort of up there with me because it's like you can make a case for a few corporate interests being in control, but when people are talking the Illuminati, my image is always
The
a whole bunch
UN.
I could say something, but I'm not gonna go there at this point. A whole bunch of old white men in suits in a boardroom, like 6. Like when that's my imagery when people are talking about the Illuminati.
They're old as Methuselah and shit.
Yeah, like the 6 like aged white men in
Like
suits.
they can't even see.
Like just
They're older than time.
in some dark boardroom somewhere.
To quote.
To a certain extent, my imagery, to a certain extent, that imagery is formed from a rap video. So,
well, to be
it's actually that isn't a joke, by the way.
I didn't think it was. To be fair,
to put it into context for you, it's a young buck, I think, and he's driving around with this girl, and they end up in this building, and they open all these doors, and they find all this stuff that's supposedly hidden. Like they find all the Florida votes, they find Iraq's weapons of mass destruction, they find the Illuminati, and they're in there playing poker or something. They were playing some ridiculous game, the Illuminati, these 6 white men in
well, here's the thing that doesn't make Here's the thing that doesn't really make sense about the Illuminati, though. Okay, not only are these people all in cahoots, but they've been around for thousands of years. You know, like without killing each other off. Like, how does that even happen? People that work at the same company don't even get along.
It's like to the extent where these people established that these people are thirsty for power.
Now, if you want
at a certain point, they are the most powerful, but that doesn't erase the fact that they're all individually thirsty for power.
For sure. Now, I have no doubt that some of them get together and fuck people over just because it's convenient for both of them, or several of them. Certainly,
but it's like the enemy of your enemy is not always your friend. If both of you are individually thirsty for, it's like playing a 3-player game, a 3-player adversarial game. It will always degenerate it will always degenerate into a team of 2 against one person, and then those other 2 fight for dominance.
Yes, and if you're outside of it, it's very entertaining.
Exactly, and like that's the entire. That's the real big reason I can't get on board with the concept, because what happens? There's 6 people in charge of everything in the world. What happens now?
The proof is the current presidential situation. Seriously, holy shit.
But you know,
who can schmooze the public the best?
Real talk. Who can make the best case for themselves to the general public? And your ideas don't have to be good.
Or even hold up to scrutiny, for that matter.
Or hold up to scrutiny. Your ideas don't have to be good. Your ideas don't have to make sense. They just need to please the public.
And that's always been the case, really.
Yeah. If you want to talk conspiracy theories, let's talk about how you can't tell the truth.
No, because the truth is offensive.
People will get mad at you.
It's weird because Mr. Carlin once said that, people don't want honesty. This honesty would fuck this country up. People wouldn't know what to do.
They would be livid. What you told them that it's like you told.
Well, I did.
The possibility that maybe some of these things that you think are bad might not be that bad. People get angry.
These or taxes. Just like, well, I did kind of spend a lot on a personal pool. Okay, Quimby.
Like people, and understood that it isn't always this way. But the idea is that if you have a business that makes a lot of money, you will create wealth in that community by employing people. Understood that isn't always that way, but if now we have all these people who just vilify big business because they think that that's all there is to that, and it's like let's tell the truth and say, hey, we realize that it's not ideal, but what else? What is the alternative? We can
bread and circuses?
Can at least bring. What was that?
Bread and circuses?
I mean, what I'm saying is we could at least bring this to a point where it works like it's supposed to. Right. But if the alternative is let's take from the people who are supposed to be creating wealth and just give it to people so they could subsist, I don't know how to address that.
Instead of bread and circuses, in this case, wouldn't it be iPhones and reality TV?
Yeah, well, yeah. And that actually brings me back to like the conspiracy theory thing. It's like it's another narrative.
Grant, it is, but it's one of those ones that's so sure of itself that it thinks everyone else is wrong, just like everybody else.
Just like any other narrative. Just like any other storybook that people pick up and try to live their lives by. The narrative is everything's bad and everything's ruined, and these people are responsible.
To be fair, you could actually point to Detroit for that being true. Everything's ruined. Everything's bad.
What? And
maybe we should call that Detroitism.
When I'm saying and when I say a narrative, what I mean is that it's a set of beliefs that people attempt to form their lives around in such a way that if something comes out and it's not they look down at the storybook and it's not that same way, people get angry and people try to rationalize what's going on in reality by way of their narrative, and I think that's a real big part of where we get these conspiracy theories from.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of agree with that. Speaking as somebody who has a couple family members who are, to be charitable, a little cuckoo with this kind of stuff, they think they're constantly being monitored and stuff. It's like, yeah, you are, but not by Big Brother. You're being monitored by soft drink companies. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
I mean, I hate to burst your bubble, but they don't care about you. People who are trying to sell products care about you.
That's Drawing Girl brings up Drawing Girl drops a hard truth right here. This is how people are. They allow the rulers to bend them over and fuck them in the ass, but they can't take the truth as well. So it's like Yes.
They don't mind as long as they wear a condom.
Yeah, you are so invested in the simplistic narratives that have been put out there by people who have a vested interest in you accepting whatever it is, whatever bullcrap they have to sell you.
In many ways, this is how the left-right paradigm works.
Yes, is very much how the left-right.
You believe two things. You believe stuff about this side, and you believe stuff about this side. You don't believe there's a middle. You don't believe there's an up or down or a sideways.
Yep.
Or
And putting a split in there will divide the collective.
Which is the point.
Everyone, which is the point. You're uniting people on your side by vilifying the other side.
Yes. Pretty much. The thing is if you look at this, it's very obvious if you follow like any kind of political science of any sorts.
Yeah.
That this is very much how it works. I mean, all you got to do to realize people will gerrymander districts to win. Come on.
Yep.
I think we answered this.
Yeah. And with that was an anime podcast.
Yes, that's the show. The email address is ntrradio@gmail.com. The website is she'slostcontrol.net/ntrradio. Check out VZ Mark II stuff at why am I so bad? VZMK2 Moe and Mekagatai.wordpress.com.
Oh yeah, new review.
He's got a new review up.
Yeah.
Check out that butt physics picture, or not picture. Is it an MP4 or what is it?
Which
I can't
one?
remember.
Well,
you know on Iyashike?
oh yeah, check out Iyashike at iyashike.moe. IYASHIKEI.moe. You can look at the article I wrote on the new mouse pads that Visual Arts is coming out with.
Like, you gotta see this shit to believe it. Like, you look at it and you're just like, wow, somebody really spent a lot of time and research into that.
Like, the actual R&D went into making these gigantic butt mouse pads.
Like if you look at them push, the way it pushes back out and jiggles, like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, I actually did a bit of research into like the construction of how those things are made, and it's actually really sophisticated.
Yep. So that's a new term we're going to be kind of employing now: butt physics.
Butt physics.
Butt physics.
Check out Nyan the magazine. She's lostcontrol.net/Nyan NYAAN.
Don't you got a new one coming out next month?
Not next month, January.
Oh, my bad. Oh no. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't started that article other than the title. I will write something I told you.
I've got like 2 articles done. There's a third one in the works. Incidentally, the third article I'm writing for this issue of Nyan is about convention convergence. So it's a real good thing I'm going on Otaku Midnight to talk about it.
Supplementary material.
One, supplementary material. 2, it's gonna be fresh in my mind from writing all this stuff.
Yep. So, convergence. That's your word. That's your word of the week.
Convergence Eve.
Convergence Eve. Yeah. See, that's about butts, not tits.
In any case, I'm Tom Enforcer Anubis.
I'm K-Gods.
I'm VZ Mark II.
And even though our entry plug gets crushed every time we say it, this is NTR Radio. All right, supplemental. Everyone can hear this right now, but something hilarious actually happened. My Firefox program locked up, so I can't actually click the stop broadcast button. So I'm gonna try and make it around that. We'll see how that goes.
So, more live material.
Yeah, more live material while I try to...
After hours of a show that really does not need after hours.
While I try to unruin this podcast. It's not to say that it's ruined, not to make anyone worried, but...
Watch me eat on live TV, yay!
It's just kind of beat that now is when it decided, you know what?
Oops.
I would like to stop working.
Yup. Hurricane Patricia. What damage thou hath wrought?
I bet it's the most powerful hurricane ever if it's affecting NTR Radio.
Well, the universe has ways of fucking us over.
Isn't Kikakukat in Texas?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So is Sneaky. I ought to see if he's okay. Holy shit. I mean, I know he's probably okay. He's probably hanging out downstairs with his guns and Yuri porn.
Sounds like me, except without the guns.
It's a good place to be.
He has a bunch of them. He has like some AKs and all kinds of stuff. All legal, of course.
Of course.
You didn't like just find them somewhere. I think he goes to a range of some kind though. When he's not looking at cosplayer asses, apparently.
Cosplayer asses are important.
You never reported on any, to my knowledge. Oh wait, hey, yeah, I think you did actually. I think you did mention like a C2 one or something like that.
I might have. I don't know.
In my travels. Anubis's Travels. It's like a new Gulliver's Travels.
Except
it's looking at booty instead of for like treasure or anything.
Actually, well, this way. No, it won't work because I can't click it. I can't actually click that.
Escape.
Why not just unplug?
Because I don't know if that will actually stop the broadcast.
And then it'll just be unplugged.
Yeah. Then I won't even be in a position to stop the broadcast at that point.
Yeah. Yep, I have that exact same Oscar sheet.
It's fantastic. I need to run a lint roller over it though.
Mine, I haven't got mine just hanging out yet. I actually have to figure out a place where it would go without getting kind of messed up. We'll all start singing a song, and like the automatic content will kick us off.
Task Manager, I understand that Task Manager would close out the window. I'm trying to stop the broadcast.
Isn't there like a force quit?
You'd think there would be.
I can't even click. What? I'll tell you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to actually. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Give me a second. Let's. Okay, let's do that.
Dropping roads. I'm distracted by my own Dakimakura.
Somehow I actually quit Firefox and am still hearing you.
Yes, we're ghosting you. I don't know how that works.
It's like the Avas. We have no idea how they work, but we have to use it.
Whoa, your voice just got way louder. And just as you joined the video call.
Well, I want to sign off now, believe it or not. So
I'll hang out here while he's trying to figure it out.
Actually pop up so I can close it out.